Hello and welcome everyone to today's session where we're gonna talk to you about the taxonomy of tokens. Now, the science of taxonomy as we know it today was formally conceived in the 18th century. The need for a formal method to catalog living species led a Swedish scientist to develop a classification method that was based on 8 groups, as you can see in front of you, starting from defining the domain of the subject until getting to the species name. Using this system, scientists were able to catalog every living species on our planet, so you can understand how effective the system was. And given its efficiency, new taxonomies started appearing in different fields. The fields of computer science, economics, business, and media started developing their own taxonomy fields. And what you see in front of you is the crypto markets taxonomy, which was announced in the new and exciting legislation that is the markets in crypto assets that were just voted in last April. Now, the markets in crypto asset legislation, or also known as MiCA, gives us a taxonomy of token, which you can see right now, which basically divides tokens into 4 major categories. You have the utility tokens, the asset reference tokens, the electronic money tokens, and then the security tokens. Each one of these branches has their own requirements and legislation, which we previously explained in our webinars. And if you're interested in learning more about MiCA, then please head over to our YouTube channel for a recorded session of that webinar. Now, during our session today, we will explore different taxonomy examples for you, specifically under what we believe would be security tokens, and we explore with you potential taxonomies for each one of them. So let's start. We will start by discussing the issuance of tokenized shares on the blockchain. And we take here the assumption that if shares are issued on the blockchain, then they will have to comply with the exact same requirements for issuing shares on regular marketplaces. Therefore, we can say that the issuers must, for instance, provide information concerning the listing of the particulars and the auditing of the accounts. They must also provide information regarding the admission of the listings to the official stock exchange. So how was the application made? They must provide information about the issuer and its own capital. So where is the office of the issuer? Where is the how much capital is being raised? What is, let's say, the size of the issuance? So on and so forth. The information concerning the activities of the issuer. So what are the activities that the issuer is engaging in? Which markets are they active in? So on and so forth. Information concerning the issuer's assets and liabilities and financial positions, including profits and losses. They must also provide information concerning the administration, management, and supervision of the company, and information regarding the recent developments on the issuer side. Let's say here, recent developments, we include, let's say, recent trends in purchasing and buying behaviors, recent market trends, anything that might affect the stock's price. Now, the same classification, the same information disclosure is required for issuing debt securities, with one additional requirement, which is that in the case of listing debt securities, then the issuer must also clearly inform his investors about the applicable conditions of the debt securities. So when do they mature, and what are the conditions that are associated with such debts? So here's, let's say, an overview of some of the information that might be required when you want to list debt securities in the European Union. We will also explore with you the tokenization and issuance of allowance certificates, and assume that if certificates were to be tokenized and brought on chain, then they will have to present the same information as you would find for traditional emission certificates on traditional markets. Now, this information would typically include the identification number, the allowance allocation, the compliance period, the emissions and the emissions reporting data, the monitoring and verification information, which is typically associated with carbon certificates, the surrendering of the allowances. They must also provide compliance information, description of market mechanisms, and record keeping. Now here we also believe that since we are speaking about issuance of these certificates on chain, then some information might not be, let's say, required to be included in the taxonomy files of the tokens, but this information can simply be derived from information that is publicly available on chain, such as the record keeping of the ownership of these certificates or the surrendering of the allowances. And finally, our final example, we'd like to also discuss with you the possibility of issuing gold certificates on chain. Again, here we take the same assumptions that if you want to issue a gold certificate in a tokenized format, then you must comply with the same regulation that apply for issuing gold certificates on traditional markets. And some of the information that you might be required to disclose would include the certificate number, who is the issuing institution, who is the holder of the certificate, a description of the purity of the gold, the serial numbers and identifiers of the gold bar, the quantity and or the amount that is being tokenized, the date of the issuance, terms and conditions of the investment in this certificate, and the signature of the seals of the issuers. Now, as I've said before here, we can assume that some of the information that is required in a more traditional, let's say, gold certificate issuance might not be necessary in the case of blockchain issuance, just because the information would typically be available on chain. Here we consider, for instance, the date of issuance. This is information that is natively available on chain. Also, the signatures and seals of the issuers and the people who touched this certificate. This all information will be publicly available and even more efficiently presented to the investors. Now, what we've done with our Nexus solution, Nexus is basically the engine that Quantus is offering, is we have developed a very straightforward way to issue token taxonomies. So if you would like to issue your tokens and therefore also issuing your token taxonomy using Nexus, then what you need to do is you just log into your terminal, your token issuance terminal. You choose whether you want to issue your token on a public or private blockchain. You choose which blockchain that you want to operate on from the several blockchains that we support. You choose the name of your token. You set up your token parameters. You set up your token taxonomy. My colleague Henry will just show you just how to do that, and then you publish your token taxonomy, and then finally you issue your token on chain. Now, with that said, Henry, maybe you'd like to take it over and show our guests how to use the token taxonomy functionality in Nexus.
Yep. Thank you so much, Eli. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, let me get back for a second to the slide Eli just presented about how to issue a gold certificate. And as Eli said, some of this information is inherently available on the blockchain, and yeah, other information you would like to add to the token that represents the gold certificates. Well, how can you do this in Nexus? Let me switch to the backend system, and there in the settings there are two entries that are of interest. First, let's go to the taxonomy schemas, and I have some schemas here. One of them, the gold token taxonomy schema. And if we look at that schema, it's a description of a token that represents gold. So the properties are a certificate number, the purity, the serial number, and a quantity. It's just a simple example of information about the tokens we issue. And if we now want to issue a token, we go to the token definitions, and there we have tokens that are backed by a currency. That's not what we want to do now. We want to create a token that's backed by an asset. So let's create this token. First, we need to decide on which blockchain we're going to issue the token. And well, we start with let's start with Stellar, and let's call it another gold-backed token, and it's the going to be the AGBT token. There's not a maximum amount to be held by a single account. That's what we want. But let's say we want to have a maximum of 1 million tokens that are going to be optioned. And now we're going to the taxonomy schema code. It's the gold token that you've seen, the gold token taxonomy that you've seen before. We want to have some information about the asset, on the for example, the terms and conditions. And there is a page that describes the terms and condition of the token. Let's copy that here. And finally, I need to have a JSON. I have that already here. That includes the information about the the certificate number, the purity, the weight. Well, 1 kilogram might be too much. Let's make it 100 gram. And now we're going to create this token on the blockchain. So we're now creating 1 million tokens on, in this case, on the Stellar blockchain, and we can look up what happened here. So the token taxonomy URL and all the information about the properties and the URL is stored in this hash. So if you would like to check if information has been changed or not, this hash that's stored on the blockchain can be used. The nice thing about these tokens is that they are instantly available. So suppose that Eli is the market maker for our AGBT, and I was the issuer. Let's search for Eli's account. I think it was the Eli N is his account, and Eli, I don't see your.
Yeah, maybe if you refresh, you should be able to see it in a moment.
Okay, yeah, there you are. So Eli wants to, as a market maker, he would like to have the gold-backed tokens in his portfolio to start, offering them. So, and I'm the issuer of these tokens, and I'm going to send tokens to Eli's wallet. So let's say we're going to send 1,000 tokens from the 1 million tokens to his portfolio, and we call it, let's say it's the funding of Eli's wallet. Yeah, so the funding is successful, and if we now look at his wallet, he has 1,000 tokens in his wallet. So, and I'm going to change head. I'm no longer the issuer, but I'm someone who would like to buy some of these gold-backed tokens, and I have my portfolio, my wallet with digital money and some assets I already possess here on my screen, and I would like to add the assets, and there it is, another gold-backed token. Let's say I would like to buy 5 of them, and I am willing to pay 11 euros for them. So what's having now reviewed, I have an order of 55 euros. I want to buy these gold-backed tokens. So there's now an order created, and this order is on the blockchain. I do immediately already have 4 of them in my wallet. So this was an instant transaction. You see, I no longer have the 77 euros. So this was what we call an atomic swap of digital money moving from my wallet to Eli's wallet, and gold-backed tokens moving from Eli's wallet to my wallet. So I still have an open order of one quantity, and if we now check Eli's wallet again, we will see that he has 996 left in his wallet. So that's a short demo. That's it from my side. If you would like to read more about the token taxonomy, then I invite you to visit our website, and there's a nice article about token taxonomy. Eli, over to you again.
All right, thank you, Henry. And I noticed that Mr. Elsie was having problems seeing your screen. Maybe can you confirm if you're seeing my screen, Mr. Howard? Okay, so then, so what we've shown you right now is how we have built Nexus to basically act as the gateway between traditional financial systems and public and blockchain enterprises, and to allow basically value to flow between the two layers seamlessly. Some of the Nexus characteristics is that Nexus offers customer, wallet, and transaction management. It is built for the digitization of money and the tokenization of assets. By offering a comprehensive set of APIs, we offer our clients a cost-efficient SaaS infrastructure. Included in our SaaS infrastructure is also user management controls that are typical for financial software, and also compliance and management tools and sanction check tools that are embedded in our system. Now, this is our Hall of Fame. You can see here that we have dealt with several types of companies, from large Fortune 500 companies to startups. And we proud ourselves by always, let's say, the positive feedback that we get from our customers. And we also have a very broad and diverse team with 11 nationalities and 19 employees. And if you're interested in learning more, then please feel free to reach out either to me or to my colleague Henry on our socials or through our website.